Welcome back to the 888 Poker Weber Cup 13, where two greats of the game are locked in battle here at the Barnsley Metrodome. Just taking his time here. Has a very definite style in that he just lofts that ball out a little, whereas you'll see most players almost lay that ball down onto the oil. Mika takes that first part of heavy oil out of the equation with the throw. And, well, when it works for him, it works very well, as the titles will certainly justify.
Yes, Simon, and lofting that ball down the lane just a few feet extra gives it that extra distance before the ball breaks in the back end and gets it up into the pocket.
It's interesting. It's one of those styles of bowling that, you know, rather like the two-handers, it's not prevalent. It just happens to work for the guys that use it.
Yes, it's not everybody's style, as you say, but it's well practiced and certainly gets the results. At the moment, Mika is ranked #1 on the World 10-Pin Bowling Association World Tour and will play in the finals later this year against Mike Fagan and Chris Barnes, believe it or not, who are ranked 2 and 3. So it's a pretty close-knit thing in Team USA just at the moment.
Barnes leaves a 10, and as soon as you saw that ball go wide, as soon as you saw it struggling to get back to the pocket, you start to look at the corners, and in particular for the right-handers, that corner 10-pin, and sure enough, it was standing.
Struggling was the correct word, actually. So yes, you can actually see that it's rotating, but it's not moving enough to get up fully into that pocket and carry the 10-pin. But it certainly takes it out on that spare in frame number 3.
First bit of justification for Osku Palerma's captain's pick. Barnes leaving a 10-pin to make a spare.
These two bowlers are very close friends and have been for many years. They actually room together when they play out on the American tour, travelling around the country together, sharing travelling expenses, rooming expenses. And I think Mika is actually godfather to Chris Barnes' twin sons. So that's how close they are.
Yep, Troy and Ryan. We'll see whether they go on to bowling careers with Chris Barnes as their father and the legendary Linda Barnes as mum.
Yes, Team USA superstar Linda Barnes for many, many years. In between them, they must have racked up a few million air miles. And as we know, Chris has racked up a few $1 million in career earnings through 10-pin bowling.
That's very, very solid. I mean, he's given it the glare there.
He didn't quite get the reaction he was looking for. The ball was in the right place and it seemed to hurry on end over end rather than sort of arcing up to the pocket, and it went straight rather than angled, but he managed to carry all 10. And it's 3 strikes out of 4 for Barnes.
Koivuniemi then with a job to do here. Certainly not out of it yet. But very specific reasons stated in the interview were by Chris Barnes for making Mika Koivuniemi the captain's pick from Team USA's point of view. And Mika can be a contrary so-and-so, so he would love to throw that back at them. And if he can keep striking like this, he might ask enough questions of the American captain.
Well, showing some of the form that has made Mika the #1 player and player of the year in the States. I mean, his strike shot is absolutely perfect when it's perfect. Carries all 10. And we know he can repeat and repeat. We've seen it before. And he normally feels quite at home here at Barnsley. He's just struggled so far in the tournament, but it's very early days yet. And I'm sure we will see a lot of high scores and a lot more strikes from Mika Koivuniemi. Barnes working on a strike. Makes it 2 in a row. Great looking shot at the halfway stage.
Yeah, slightly more convincing, but they all count.
Chris talking himself, just holding that 20-pin advantage at the moment. Both players are doubled up.
Mika Koivuniemi, fantastic multi-sportsman, has played ice hockey to a decent level, has played basketball to a good level and soccer as well. But finally settled on the sport of bowling, and that's brought him the riches and the titles.
I actually understand he's a qualified electrician as well, which kind of shocked me when I heard the news.
Not many sparks flying off that last delivery though, I'm afraid.
Yeah, leaves the 4 and the 7 on the left-hand side.
Plenty to think about here for Koivuniemi, and unfortunately from Chris Barnes' point of view, the job's just got really easy. You know, he's just got to stay clean, and Koivuniemi's going to struggle.
Well, the spare's good, but unfortunately it's not good enough. Barnes is working on 2 strikes. He can shoot another one here. The gap between them will just increase, and Mika can't quite understand why that last shot wasn't where he wanted to put it. So this becomes quite a big shot for Chris Barnes here. We've gone through the halfway stage. It's frame number 6. And another strike here will just turn the screw to put even more pressure on the big fin.
Needed that one to push to arrive, and it did. Will keep the Team USA Appreciation Society happy. Dwindled in numbers since last year. There's only 2 of them left at the moment, but I'm sure they'll be getting in some more recruits, especially if USA keep racking up the points.
And they were here quite early because I think one of them wanted actually to get a game on the Team USA side.
Not a chance, not in this exalted company. Having a good time though. It's all part of the pageant here at the Weber Cup.
Mika under pressure. Barnes has hit 5 strikes out of 6 frames. He's still pacing 279. Unless Mika can hit another one here, he'll be going backwards, and that's another great looking shot, but unfortunately spares are coming between the strikes, and so he's not maximising on his potential scores.
Was that a ball change from Mika, or had that happened a frame earlier?
I must admit, Simon, I hadn't seen that. I was
bowling with a very brightly coloured ball. There it is, third one in from the right. And the tortoise shell type ball has just rolled in, and I think that's the new one for Koivuniemi.
Well, they don't come in different shapes, but they certainly come in different colours, don't they? And different weights. Most of these players are using either 15 or 16 pound balls.
Yeah, 16 pound ball, and Chris Barnes calls it a man ball.
That's right, yeah. Lots of the players use 15 because they can get so much more snap in the back end. Chris there just trying to dry his fingers off, just giving them a time, any moisture on them to dry off before he puts them in the finger holes.
May have spotted his blue wristband there of the Diabetes Society that he supports. One of his sons is diabetic, and so he and wife Linda have been doing a lot of work, a lot of charity work for this society over in the USA.
Strikeout for Diabetes is the charity that he supports, and he and wife Linda have actually started that charity, and so yes, it's a very worthwhile cause.
Yes, well done from Chris Barnes, and he is marching towards another point, and 4-2 would be a bit of daylight between USA and Team Europe. Not over yet, but certainly looks good for the Reds. The 10-pin action continues here at Weber Cup 13 after the break.